Let's keep calm and mother on. Mothering is way too important to do alone and way too serious to be serious all the time. My name is Christy Thomas, and I am here shoulder to shoulder with you, mothering and enjoying life together. This is the podcast where you can focus on being mindful and taking a deep breath with me and learning new things so you can pause and savor the amazing life you already have. On social media today, Adam Grant, the journalist, posted this quote: "In toxic cultures, being a workaholic is normalized and sacrificing sleep is glorified. The best way to get ahead is to burn out. In healthy cultures, quality of life is expected and having a life is celebrated. You're encouraged to put your well-being above your work." So I read that, and then I instantly thought, is American motherhood toxic? Is the standard we've placed on each other and the moms around us and the dads around us, is it toxic? Are we getting ahead or are we burning out? Are we treating ourselves like humans, or have we decided that we are just a cog in the wheel of history, and not even a wheel of production, but the wheel of history, and we just need to keep moving because then eventually we'll grow up and it will be our kids' turn to be parents? And I don't know when this happened, but parenthood isn't a profession, right? Lots of people become mothers, but not everyone mothers, right? Not everyone does the action of being a mother. But doing the action of mothering, it's just a hat I wear, but it's not a profession. It's a thing. It's a role in my life, but it's not who I am, right? When my mom looked at me as a newborn, she didn't say, "Oh, that's a great mother right there." No, she looked at me and she said, "Wow, what an incredible human with 10 fingers and 10 toes and no hair." I was bald for a long time. That is why I have my ears pierced, yo. Can we remember our common humanity? You are not a cog. You may be somebody's mother. There's a high chance of that. You're listening to a podcast called Keep Calm and Mother On. I am a mother to 3 people. And then I get to be the bonus mom to even more amazing kids that I've met along the way. But that's just kind of a verb that I do. It's not my profession. And overall, bigger picture, I'm a full human, and so are my kids. We need to remember the common humanity. At this point, I look around and this isn't a quote unquote normal living experience, right? And no one is really okay right now. We all have different levels of stress and different challenges we're working on. But what we do have in common is our common humanity. The ability to be fully human and to express kindness and love, to be creative, to cheer each other on, to leave behind beauty. You have the ability to make a difference in one person's life. If you're an adult, your interest and strong connection to a child can change that child's life. It's been proven. One caring adult is what tips the scales for a kid. But don't forget that you should be that caring adult for yourself. Don't get so wrapped up into raising your kids that you forget your common humanity. You need to remember that it's okay for you to have needs and for your neighbor to have needs, and that we're all just learning and trying our best with the information we have in the moment. Common humanity, shared kindness. That's what I want to remember in this moment. And yes, it is way hard when your kids are tiny, and their physical demands are high. I get it. You will naturally sacrifice sleep in those moments. Just like with my teens, there's a natural sacrifice of sleep because they're suddenly talkative when I want to sleep. But we take care of them because we honor their shared humanity. Because the verb of mothering, the verb of parenting is a radically optimistic task. And you're here because you hold optimism for your kids and your family and your friends' kids and the kids of the world in general and the humanity of the world in general. You keep showing up and keep loving and keep doing. But don't forget to extend some of that shared kindness and that shared humanness to yourself. You are not a commodity. You are not a profession. You are not a machine. I'm so glad you're you. I'm so glad that you are exactly who you are, full of mystery and marvel and questions and hopes and dreams and challenges. But as you develop your humanness, don't try to achieve too much. Let's just aim for good enough with kindness and shared humanity. There's room for the good enough. We don't have to be achieving to be the best minimalist out there, the best mom out there, the best artist out there, the best person who can make a dinner from scratch out there, the Pinterest perfect worthy home decor, right? There are so many ways we can value ourselves and judge ourselves and compare ourselves. And when we do that, we're losing parts of our humanity. We are no longer treating ourselves with wholeness, looking at the whole being. We're trying to take one part of us and make it a tradable commodity to show how worthy we are. And you are not a commodity. I like you exactly how you are. You were born a full human, full stop. And as a grown-up that's raising other humans, you are still a full human. You may have to practice advocating for your own needs or be creative with the amazing resources and your ability to Google on the internet or to barter with friends, to have finances and a car, right? Things that our kids don't have access to. You have so much at your fingertips, but you're still a human. You still make mistakes, but you're not a machine. I think motherhood can feel very toxic when we are just trying to live up to words on paper. We're trying to live up to some false idea in a book, the movie screen, more likely trying to outrun the baggage from our own childhood. where we feel like we have something to prove because someone in our childhood made us feel like we had to strive and become a commodity and forgot that we were actually humans, that we're supposed to make mistakes, supposed to bend and break and heal and fix and love. You are a human raising other humans. And it's so important not to do that alone. And I'm so glad you're here. And if this is the first time you've listened, this episode is a little bit more ranty than normal. But when I took it to my Facebook page and took it to Instagram asking if you thought American Motherhood was toxic, it was a really strong yes. So then I sat on my couch while I watched my family play Mario Kart, and I tried to brainstorm why. Where does this come from? This push to achieve and to strive and to fix yourself. And it's because we've forgotten to give ourselves grace. We've forgotten that we're a human while we're raising humans. And when we forget that we're a human, then that rubs off on our kids and we forget that they're humans when we interact with them. We start to value the wrong things. But it's okay. Every day, every moment, when you take a big deep breath in, is a chance to choose again, to remember that you're a human and we can have grace and kindness. With each inhale, you can practice more grace and kindness towards yourself. You can stop comparing and be present to the holy, beautiful moment that you're in with the wonderful, amazing humans that are with you, that you get to raise and live with. And that deep breath, that reminder, that's how I try to keep calm and mother on. Okay, now let's talk about our self-care. Our self-care for this week is to look back at photos of early active mothering, whenever you chose to mother. It could be mothering your own humans, whatever mothering looks like in your life. But look back at those early days. And maybe you're living in those early days now. Maybe you have a 4-month-old or an 18-month-old that's waking you up at 5 a.m. Look back at the early days, even for you. Maybe those first photos. And remind yourself how far you've come. Maybe write yourself a love note to that person and tell her thank you for her radical optimism in humanity, that she's here and trying, and to tell her thank you. Now for your family fun this week, way less heavy. Just sit down with some paper and draw. Just enjoy, put on some music and throw all the markers and crayons at the table. Maybe unroll a large sheet of butcher paper. I love covering the table in just huge rolls of paper. In fact, we used up all of our large rolls of paper at our last house, and now I am really wishing we had some, because it feels like a restaurant when you have paper for your tablecloth and you can doodle all over it. Played so many games of hangman and connect the dots and making mazes for each other. Just sit down with paper, phones in a different room, have however you listen to music, play some favorite music and sing along, and just use the markers and the crayons and the watercolors, whatever happens, stickers, use it all up enjoy the gift of creativity and curiosity together. You've got this. I am so glad you're here. You're listening to this and you keep trying. That's amazing. I hope that when you listen to this, it feels like a great big hug, because I know that you are exactly the right mom for your kids, and that motherhood is way too important to be serious all the time and way too important to do alone. So don't forget to reach out to me over email to keep the conversation going, or to find me on Instagram. In fact, if you sign up for my email list, you might get an invitation for the next Mom's Time Out that we do over Zoom, where we meet randomly for about an hour on Zoom and we do some deep breaths, do a little guided pep talk coaching session, and then we just kind of chilled for 40 minutes and everyone worked on different things. One person did knitting, another person put on a sleep mask and tried to nap. Someone else read a book. I did a sticker by number book. It was fantastic. So don't forget to sign up for the email list if you want to know when the next Mom's Time Out is. You deserve rest. You're a human. And I hope you have a really good day. Bye, everyone.